Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into a story about how one company totally cracked the code on AI adoption and got results most companies can only dream about.
Okay, let's just start with the headline number, the one that got everybody's attention, 93%. Yeah, that's the percentage of employees at a major tech company using a specific AI tool every single month.
So the big question is how? How did they pull that off? Because this wasn't some top-down mandate. Nobody was forced to do it. This was all voluntary. All right, let's get into it.
The company we're talking about is CyberAgent. They're a Japanese tech and media giant. Think advertising, media, gaming. And right from the start, they decided to treat AI as, well, not just some shiny new toy, but as a core foundational technology. Something absolutely essential for their business.
But, it wasn't all smooth sailing. After that initial explosion of generative AI back in 2022, usage shot up, but that rapid growth created a whole new set of problems. And pretty soon, they hit a wall.
And the roadblocks were pretty serious. First, they needed much stronger security and governance. You had employees who were just unsure about what data they could safely put into these AI tools, and that, of course, led to hesitation. On top of that, usage was all over the place, totally inconsistent across the company, which made it nearly impossible to share what was working and really scale things up.
So their first move was to tackle the tech problem head-on. To calm those fears around security and management, they brought in an enterprise-grade AI platform. Something with centralized controls, solid security. Basically, it gave them the guardrails they needed so everyone could move forward with some real confidence.
And the impact was immediate. One of their managers, Ken Takao, pointed out that having those enterprise features, things like account management and being able to see who was using what, it just unlocked the potential. People could finally use AI confidently for all sorts of tasks. It just erased that hesitation.
Okay, so here's the crucial part. Even with the perfect tool in place, their real strategy, it had nothing to do with technology. It was all about culture. And honestly, this is where the story gets really, really interesting.
See, CyberAgent has this philosophy. They almost never force a specific tool on the entire company. So instead of that top-down, you will use this mandate, they went for organic growth. They basically said, hey, every team, every department, you figure out what works for you. This let them tailor things to their own needs, which led to genuine, proactive adoption.
And to build that culture, they didn't just hope for the best. They had a playbook. First, they made it super easy to share successful prompts and use cases. Then, they gamified it a bit with some private internal rankings. Not to be competitive, but just to let people see their own progress. They even built a friendly little Slack bot that would nudge inactive users, not to shame them, but to offer help. And of course, they ran workshops and training for all skill levels.
And guess what? This whole culture-first strategy, it absolutely paid off. We're not just talking about that impressive usage number. It fundamentally changed how work got done. You could really see it with their developers, who started using AI coding assistants in some pretty powerful new ways. The results were tangible. We're talking improved design quality, because they could pressure test ideas from all angles. Teams got aligned way faster, which meant a lot less rework down the line. What's really cool is that it even started helping non-developer roles. And in this amazing little feedback loop, they actually used the AI to help build the very tools, like that internal ranking system, that were encouraging adoption in the first place.
One of their developers, Hidekazu Hora, who worked on the game Worm Escape, he put it perfectly. He said the AI felt less like a simple tool and more like a reliable partner. See, it stopped being just about speed. It became about quality and about having the confidence to move forward on better ideas.
So what's the big picture here? What does this mean for the future of work? Well, what CyberAgent did isn't just a playbook for getting people to use AI. It's really a sneak peek at where this is all going.
From their perspective, AI isn't some temporary boom. It's not a fad. They see it as a massive turning point, something that's going to become the new standard for the entire industry, kind of like how the internet changed everything a few decades back. And that brings us to the ultimate goal, this idea of embedded AI. This is where you move past just, adopting a tool. This is about completely redesigning how work itself gets done. Integrating AI so deeply that it becomes part of the company's cultural and operational DNA. Which kind of leaves us with one final big question. CyberAgent's story proves that the technology, that's only half the battle. The real engine for their success was a deliberate, thoughtful plan to build an engaged culture. So, if culture is the engine, What's the plan for yours?